It's time for the Onebar and Lupagus Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
Hello and welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus Show. I am Lupagus here with Onebar. We're back again.
2 days in a row, baby. I can't get enough of you.
We were separated for a while, but we're just snuggling now, snuggling tight.
Snuggling up nice and tight.
Today we are going to have an updated NFC North power rankings. But before we talk about the rankings, be sure to subscribe to our channel, like our vids. Every day we'll be pumping out content for you to scratch your Viking itch, no matter how low, no matter where it is.
Oh, wow. Wow. And this, this is our first NFC North power ranking. So we're kind of going off of last year, what everybody did in the off season. So a little shot in the dark here, but I'm feeling pretty good about my power rankings.
But kind of not at the same time.
Like not feeling good or what?
I don't know. Just, I don't know. I thought it'd be fun to say. It really bombed. All right.
It did bomb.
Let's start number 4. Who you got?
Well, number 4, before we get into this, I just want to say that these are actually a lot closer than I anticipated. I thought someone was just going to completely blow this away. It's not really the case. I'm starting to wonder if the NFC North is a turd division. But 4, it's easy. You're going to have the same exact one. If you don't, you are a damn fool. It's the
Did you
Bears.
just ring a bell? What was that?
It's my dog. It is the Bears. They're horrible. I think they might have even got worse. They were 27th in rushing offense last year, 29th in passing. Their defense, obviously, is their bread and butter. But listen to these guys they've lost. Mukamara, Trey Burton, yeah, he was a dud.
Mukamara.
Chase Daniel. The guy could beat the Vikings anytime, any day. Leonard Floyd, Clinton Dix, Aaron Lynch. Yeah, that's just not great for them. I think they're going to be worse. They're clearly number 4 for me.
Didn't your dad take a bath with Aaron Lynch?
No, I think that was a distant relative.
Oh, I have the Lions at 4.
What the hell? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the Lions are the Lions. I know they got Okudah and Swift. This team, even though you got to like what they added in the offseason, I still feel like they're a year away from being serious contenders in the NFC North.
They're always a year away. They never get better.
They are. And that's the thing. They always suck. No matter how much hype they get.
Not as bad as the Bears.
Bringing a new coach, bringing all this stuff. You think the Lions are finally going to make that climb. They never do. They always suck.
I'm shocked.
It always goes downhill. No, I think they're well worse than the Bears. I'm not on the Lions bandwagon. I've done that before, thinking they're going to be good. I once took Amir Abdullah in round 2, his rookie year, thinking he was going to be something special. He sucked. Jaron Curse is suspended 3 games now.
Oh, darn.
That's going to hurt. Well, look at the guys you listed for the Bears that they lost. Big deal.
Exactly. Yeah. These players I listed suck, and
the
they're
Lions
on a sucky team. You know who they gained? The Bears gained Nick Foles, who already opted out, Jimmy Graham, who's older than your grandpa's balls. They got nothing. Ted Ginn.
The Lions rub. They always rub. They always will rub no matter what. They're always going to be the bottom feeders.
You know what the difference is between the Bears and the Lions? Is the
Matt
Bears,
Patricia shitty coach.
The Lions actually have a very, very good quarterback that can single-handedly go win a game. Mitch Trubisky couldn't win jack shit if he was handed to him on a silver platter. Stafford, they do have some good pieces on defense or offense. I think that Swift is going to be pretty damn good and help them. But I can't believe. I think the Bears are one of the worst teams in the league.
I love Matthew Stafford, but where has he gotten him in his 17 years with the team?
Ahead of the Bears in the standings.
Have they even made the playoffs?
I'm not talking about playoffs. I'm talking about being
once
better
or twice.
All I'm talking about is being better than the Bears.
And I don't think they are. The Lions are worse than the Bears. The Bears, I think, with their defense, I know they have a shit quarterback, but they have a 4-game winning streak over the Vikings. And you know what? Until the Vikings can finally beat them, I got the Bears a notch ahead of the Lions because I think the Lions are shit.
Well, I'm glad before we got into this, we were trying to decide if we should show each other our rankings. We didn't, and I'm glad specifically for this scenario.
You show me something that would not rank in the top 4.
No, not top a million. All right, well, let's go to 3. I mean, if the Bears isn't your number 3, you need to just get the hell out of here.
No, it's the Bears. And I do like Cole Kmet, Jalen Johnson, who they added. They got that 4-game win streak over the Vikings, but it's that quarterback play that's going to hold them back. Trubes just blows. Um, you know, I think he should just run every time because when he throws, nothing good happens. He only throws to Allen Robinson. Maybe he'll start throwing a Cole Kmet. Their defense is still very good, very intimidating. But yeah, I think these guys are a little bit better than the Lions, but I do not think they're as good as the Packers or the Vikings.
Yeah, and I got the Lions 3 strictly because of Matt Stafford and their offense. I mean, they did lose Darius Slay. They lost Ashawn Robinson, Graham Glasgow, but they brought in Desmond Trufant, who has been a little bit of a turd, but at least it's somebody. They got some good draft picks. They're 10th in passing, and that's what's going to win them games. And I think that's what puts them over the hump over the Bears. Their defense is horrifying, but I mean, it's the Bears. So this was an easy one for me.
The Lions are just a cursed franchise, and you can't take them all the cellar until they prove they can consistently stay out of it.
They weren't in the cellar last year. The Bears were.
Okay, well, it don't matter. I mean, they're shit. The Lions are poop.
The Lions had a very, very good draft, by the way. It was very loved it. Okudah, Swift, Aquara, Jonah Jackson, John Simpson.
Hey, who was that steal they got in the 6th round, 7th round? D tackle?
I don't remember. What do you mean?
John Pinacini?
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about him. All right. Well, now it gets into the top 2 here. It's going to be very, very interesting where we go. Who's going first?
Well, I think you can make an argument either way here. So I'll let you go first.
Well, unfortunately, which makes me feel gross in my Peter parts, is I do have the Vikings number 2. You know, the Packers were 13-3 last year. They won the division. Until we prove otherwise, I have to give it to the Packers until we're playing some games this year. Not only that, but you look at who the Vikings lost. Diggs, Rhodes, Linval, Trey, Sendejo, Alexander, Curse, Weatherly, Griffin, Klein. That is a hefty, hefty, hefty list to lose. And the only people we brought in were Pierce, who already opted out, Anthony Zettel, and Tajay Sharp. So I love our draft class. I think we're going to be probably neck and neck with the Packers, but in good conscience, I can't say we're better than the Packers.
Yeah, I got the Packers at 2 just because I think, they didn't do anything to upgrade their passing game. Devontae Adams is still the only receiver, really. They did bring in Devin Funchess, who opted out. Their draft was fucking disgusting. They took the quarterback. They took a running back who many had going much later.
Gross.
And they took like a fullback. I mean, it was like a cocky, arrogant draft where they've taken these obscure positions. And I think that's going to come back and bite them in the ass. Rodgers is still one of the best in the game, but I do feel like his play is starting to slip just a little bit. I'm still scared to death of their defense. Their front 7 is horrifying. The Vikings could not handle it a year ago. So yeah, I get it. I get why you'd put the Vikings 2. But I bleed purple. I shit purple.
Oh God, you should see a doctor.
And I put the Vikings 1. At the same time, I know the Vikings. They do have plenty of reasons to worry. You got extremely young depth at many positions. You got rid of a ton of starters, like you said. You got inexperienced guys starting in your secondary, backing up your safeties, backing up your defensive ends. The guard situation is horrifying. But you mentioned Diggs going, yeah, that hurts. But you got Jefferson in there. I think actually the wide receiving core as a whole is going to be stronger because it's much stronger from top to bottom. Last year, you only really had like 3 good options, and it was just a bunch of turds. Yeah, and it hurts as hell losing Michael Pierce. But there's some guys who can hopefully step up. But I think the top is very, very close. And I can see why you give it to the Packers. I hate to give the Packers any credit. Like you said, we got to knock them off before we can really secure this top spot. They did sweep us last year, but I'm going purple, number 1.
Yeah, and I think the Packers will be either their normal 12-4, 11-5, somewhere in that range, or they are going to absolutely completely shit the bed. Because if they get off to a rough start, Aaron Rodgers, he hasn't flat out said it, but he's throwing little jabs in there as far as just being a little pissed off as far as what went down. If things start off gross, I think they could go like 7-9. I mean, I think it could be either. It's going to be one way or the other. I don't think it's going to be anything in between. And you're right. They haven't added anybody in the passing game as far as receivers. But they didn't have anybody last year either, and they did all right. So their defense, the Smith brothers are going to be very, very scary. But Packers could very well be third in this division, and I wouldn't be that surprised.
Yeah, and this could be the year where Rodgers does that. Like, he gets pissed off that things aren't going well. You know, maybe he starts playing like shit. Maybe he's intentionally just chucking the ball wherever the hell he wants to, knowing that he's got knowing that his replacement's on the bench. You know, maybe he kind of tanks it just to get out of there and go somewhere else. I mean, he's still got probably 3-4 good years left in him.
Well, according to him, he's got like 15 years left in him. I think he said he wants to play till he's about 55.
Well, you know what? He'll probably end up in the Vikings one day.
Oh, God, yuck.
Yeah, so, you know, pretty close. So, you know, we mixed it up a little more than I thought we would. But I think right now, as it stands, these are your power rankings. It'll be interesting. The Vikings definitely got to get some demons off their back here. They got to beat the Bears. They got to beat the Packers. And hopefully they can start doing that.
Yeah, and as much as I ripped on the Bears, they seem to fluctuate. They're either extremely shitty or surprisingly good. This will be the year where their defense shows up and they wall everybody and they finish 12-4.
Well, I think last year too, I think some of these defenses were starting to figure out the Matt Nagy offense, and you know, the first year it really kind of blew everybody away. They didn't know all these multiple shifts and you know, guys moving around. It really confused a lot of people, but I think maybe they started catching on to that, and it wasn't as potent last year as it was. You know, the Vikings promised they couldn't handle that front pressure. I mean, the guards were too damn weak. So hopefully Garrett Bradbury is much stronger and just, you know, flops out one of those big old teddies and just can hold his own.
We'll sweep the Bears this year. No problem. Done deal.
Is that a one-bar guarantee?
It's a one-bar guarantee. All right, there's our rankings.
There it is. All right. Well, here's something that's going to rank pretty high in your knowledge list. Are you familiar at all with the giraffe mating rituals?
No.
Well, it turns out the male giraffe will continuously headbutt the female in the bladder until she pisses. Then the male will taste her piss to determine if she's ovulating. If she is, it's pound town.
That's a one-bar ritual as well.
Is it really?